Welcome to another episode of Who's Your Nerds Podcast.
Pass, pass, blah.
Yep, another episode of Who's Your Nerds, the podcast.
We're back.
To Electric
bitches.
Boogaloo, the return of the Mac Daddy. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyways, we got Mikey and the two Chris's. Tim liked the message saying we're going to be on, but you know he's not on, so
He's not on.
He's currently playing Diablo.
Oh, well, I mean, I could be playing Diablo right now too, but I'm not.
Yeah. You're so
Anyways,
dedicated.
where should we start? I'll start with I got married June
Yay.
24th. I got married to Kimberly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Okay, here you go.
All right, and then the other big news. I'll let Mikey break it. Mikey, what happened to you on the other day?
What did I do?
He's drinking out of the same Kool-Aid cooler as you are, Chris.
I'm an engaged man now.
Yeah, all right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Now we just got to get Tim and Chris hitched.
Yeah. They're next.
I would be more than happy to. I tried. I really tried. So
you're seriously like down to try marriage again?
Oh, I'm not against it. It's got to be the right person. I wouldn't be afraid.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I tried. Like, I asked. I asked somebody out on a date.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
they were like, I would rather talk for a while. I'm like, that's cool. I can respect that. You know, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
And this is somebody I know that I've dated off and on, and the night we could have gone out on a date, and I was like, let's go. I was like, I just want a date. Like, let's go to dinner, no Netflix and chill, nothing like that. Like a real date. Like I pick you up for dinner and I drop you off, and then that's our date, right?
Maybe a peck on the cheek.
Yeah, but not even that. Just So, well, I want to talk for a while. Okay, fine. So then I find out the night that we could have gone out on a date, she was doing housework. So she chose housework over a free meal, which I thought was odd. Then
the free meal comes with maybe anxiety and nervousness.
Well, like I said, we've been out before, so it wasn't new. So
he's
then
known her for years.
I've known her for quite a while.
Him, if not
so
longer.
I text her a few days later, and she's like, "I just want to tell you, I was talking to this guy all weekend long, and he's my boyfriend now." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh,
she's like, "I'm serious." I was like, "What the? You're right." I was like, "What is this, middle school? You talked to him over the weekend, now he's your boyfriend?" So
we were holding hands at recess.
Yeah.
I'm like, I freaking cannot win here. So I tried. I wanted to go out on a date. I really did. But yeah, I would get married if it was the right person. Sure.
Okay.
So you were in Michigan, right, all week, and then how did you come up with this idea? How long have you?
Yeah.
How long have you been? Tell us the plan. Like, how long have you been planning this?
So it wasn't really much. I just took a really good it was a good opportunity. Took advantage of good opportunity. That's my phrase I was looking for. So yeah, her family goes to Michigan about every year. They camp up there. They all have their campers and stuff, pull behinds, fifth wheels, whatnot. There's like 8 families, or like, so that we all rented out like lots next to each other and like behind each other, where we had just big lot, just all to ourselves really, and we could just almost like a block party every night.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was fun. But so when they go up there, they do family picture sessions, and so the photographer they had last time, they used her again, and she ended up like kind of remembering who her family was, when we were talking to him and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So so I kind of got that idea in my head. And I was like, and she, my fiance, Tiara, she always kind of said like, hey, if you were to if you were to ask me or to marry you, um, I want my family there and I want pictures. And I was like, well, check, like
Right, definitely.
easy. So of course, the only people that knew were her father and mother because I had to ask for his blessing.
Of course.
And so he was like, "All right, I'm gonna tell my wife now." I'm like, "That's cool. Like, go for it." And so they helped me too, kind of plan it out a little bit, or like, you know, uh, they were really curious at how I was gonna do it. And so I ended up telling them, and they were so happy about it. So I about a couple weeks before um, vacation, I reached out to the photographer. I was like, "Hey, would you mind if like other guy like hey I'm with the Miller party um and like I plan to propose would you be interested in helping me out and if it's a big deal like I could pay you a little extra cuz or whatnot." And she was so happy to do it. I was like, perfect.
That's awesome.
So she was like so like the day I think the day of she was like, oh no, it was the day before. No, it was the day before. But day of, I called her. She gave me her number, and she's like, "Okay, so this is what we're gonna do." She says, "We're gonna have her stand in front. You, stand behind her a little ways, and um, I'm gonna ask you to come up to her and like give her a big hug behind. It was almost like similar to some of the pictures we did on Chris's wedding." So like I rush up behind her and just give her a hug or whatnot, or
Right.
grab her or whatnot. And so I was like, "Oh, perfect! Like that's like I don't think she'd suspect anything." So I was like, "So actually, I got a little bit of space between me and her, and it was just me and the photographer." And I was like, "How about we do the first one like for real?" So she's like, "Okay, this is real. Like he's taking this seriously. We're doing the picture." So I did the picture first, and then so I did the picture and everything. And she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it again, but try to do this other reaction to Sierra." She's talking to Sierra. That's when I stepped up a little forward and went down on a knee and I just said I couldn't get anything out of my mouth. I just said I just said
Was
will you
the
marry
heart
me?
pounding like a million miles an hour?
Yeah. I was like I think later that evening, Sierra's like, "I thought you would like more of a speech type thing." I'm like, "Nah." I was like, I mean, her family like was around taking photos and videos and stuff. I'm just like, "Nah, I'm just gonna say right here, like, just fucking, will you marry me?"
That's exactly how I was. I was when I got down on my knee at Disney, I was so like I had a whole like speech or not really speech,
Yeah.
a whole like thing I wanted to say, but then I was like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like I give it just a tiny bit of thought. Like if I were to say something, it would be this, and this. But I was like, you know what? Just forget it. Just get it out.
You didn't have any trouble putting it on her hand like I did. I was shaking. I was trying to put it on the wrong hand for a hot second.
No, it is a little snug, and so I tried to put it all the way on, but I couldn't get it all the way to that back knuckle. I kind of got it like, but it worked out. It fits and everything. So
For the wedding, the what's his face, the preacher was like, "Yeah, just don't push it on there. Let her do it. Like get it as far as you can, then stop."
yeah, that's
let
kind
her
of what I
take
did. I realized like I realized I didn't want to do too much. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. But she absolutely loves the ring, so I think I did a good job.
Yay.
Good.
Have you set a date?
We're kind of discussing that now.
Okay.
Yeah, we're thinking sometime next August of 24.
Can I give you some advice, Mikey?
Yeah,
As a man who just got married,
yeah.
just elope. Have a nice go to the courthouse,
That's what
I
elope,
know.
everybody
and
Yeah,
says.
then
that's
have
yeah.
a big
Okay, if
reception
if
and
it
honeymoon.
if it was
Yeah.
up to the guy, that's
Yes.
exactly what would happen.
Yes.
But every girl wants
Yes.
to go walk down the aisle. It's the princess
Yes.
thing. So you
Yeah.
guys got to do it.
And in the back of my, I think there's part of me that wants that whole big thing, but it honestly doesn't matter to me. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That day's off for the bride.
Yes,
He just has to show up.
You guys want to know a secret? It was
Yeah.
actually me who wanted more of the wedding, like the big wedding, than her.
Like,
Yeah.
was you planning it like Raj? He's like Raj.
No, I wasn't
Yeah.
really planning it, but I just have a really big family, as you guys could probably
Uh-huh.
tell at my wedding, and I've never really been the center of attention, and this was like my time to shine finally, and I was like, oh yeah,
So you've peaked.
I've peaked. I don't have to be the center of attention anymore.
And that's the way Sierra is. Like, she has the biggest family, and I'm just like, I don't know who I'm gonna invite. Like,
Yeah, it's gonna be like the opposite of mine. Like I even had like half of my family didn't even show up. Like there was like
Oh.
there was like
I
4
don't know
family
why.
groups
That pulled
missing.
pork was some
Yeah.
good stuff. I'm telling
Dude,
you.
we had so much food left over. It's not even funny.
yeah.
I would have taken some home. You should have let me know.
My mother-in-law was handing stuff out.
Oh.
Oh, I did not see that. Now I'm disappointed.
We
Oh,
did
no.
go.
Good stuff.
We did go look at one video today. We got one scheduled for tomorrow, and one scheduled for Thursday, and 2 more scheduled next week.
In Kokomo, or are we gonna have to travel?
No, everything this week is in Kokomo. Like, the one we went to today was the experience.
Oh yeah, the country club.
Yeah, did you go there and
Oh.
check it out?
Yeah, I
Chris?
loved it, but it was outside of our budget.
Like,
Oh,
here's
okay.
an idea. What if you have the wedding closer to us?
Yeah, that'd be.
me and Bo were like, we're gonna have to fucking rent a goddamn apartment up there. Everybody's getting married over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Get married in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but we're going to the Legacy Barn, I think, tomorrow.
Where's that at?
Like,
Isn't it
west on 22.
Isn't it like near the reservoir?
It's like
or past the reservoir?
No, it's like 3 or 4 miles west of Dixon.
Oh, I know. That's out near Fort Brown Hill.
Yeah.
I
And then
know
there's
that. Yeah, I've been past there. Yeah, I know where that's at.
There's another place out on East 50 North, like it's like the 3000 number or something.
Are you guys gonna check out the venue we did? The venue?
No, sorry.
Okay, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, nothing against it, but she's leaning more towards a barn wedding, which would be nice, but
more barbecue, hot dogs. That's what I'm talking about.
And then there's a place in Crawfordsville and some other place down there in that area. So. Oh,
we'll
it's
travel.
Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill. That's the other one.
Where's Chapel Hill?
Huh?
The church?
Chatham Hill. Sorry.
Oh, Chatham Hill.
Chatham Hill. There's a little barn out there.
Where's that?
It's Westfield area.
Oh, okay. We've traveled. Did we go to Greenfield? Was it Greenfield, Chris?
Yeah.
For Bear's wedding?
Yep. We might
yeah,
this on the
Chatham Hill one is like towards the bottom of the list. Like, that's probably her dream place. Like, if she had all the money and stuff, just because it's bougie. It's bougie.
Oh,
I think Zach was no, never mind. It wasn't Zach. I was thinking of the wedding you went to that one time, Mikey, in like Westfield, Noblesville area.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Where was that?
That's what I was thinking, because I remember you posting pictures of the place, but I can't remember anything.
I don't even remember where the hell was that. Go ahead.
So do you guys mind if I talk about my honeymoon?
No, but hold on, because me and Tim were discussing this at the wedding. We want to talk about your wedding.
Okay,
first.
Go right ahead.
So hang on, let's get so we had, instead of handing out programs to everybody, we think you could have saved paper and ran credits with the pictures on the TV screens at the church. Don't take any advice from us whatsoever. This is stupid stuff that we were talking about.
I was like, where is he going with this? I don't remember. Now I remember.
I remember.
Yeah.
We saw Santa Claus at the wedding. So
So-
celebrity sighting. Chris had Santa
He
Claus.
actually,
Oh,
he
yeah.
actually does Santa Claus for.
Does he really?
He
That's
does.
awesome.
Yeah.
And his
I
wife
definitely
dresses
seen him.
up as Mrs. Claus.
I
Oh,
feel like
that's
I've
awesome.
seen him like going to a movie theater before too when I worked there.
Mhm.
I do want to say that I looked so good I was unrecognizable.
Dude,
Yeah.
Kimberly said Chris can clean up.
And Sierra said that I looked like her tax guy. That was my
Yeah,
thing.
her tax guy. Yeah.
And why do you start the wedding so late in the afternoon? It's not like you're going for TV ratings. TV ratings don't matter in a wedding.
It was
TV
3:30. That's not that late. That's early for a wedding.
Me and Tim would have really liked a mac and cheese bar
rating.
with some pizza
I'll write that
rolls.
down. I'm writing
Or-
that down.
Mac and cheese bar and pizza rolls for appetizers. Karaoke would be a good idea.
That was actually one we were actually going to do that, but the machine was stupid expensive and we decided against it.
Okay, and so that music that was playing while we were eating, it was good music. We enjoyed it, but have you not seen every horror movie that plays that kind of music because something bad happens? Did you
Well-
not see Ghost Ship?
I was not in there when they were doing that. I was doing
Yeah.
photos, so I don't know what
Yeah.
music they were playing.
It was like, did you see Ghost Ship?
Yeah.
It was
Remember
like
the beginning when they were playing that lovely music and then the wire comes across and cuts everybody in half? That's the kind of music that it was playing. Just saying. So, and then PYT from Michael Jackson. Why was that played? I mean, at this point, is Michael Jackson singing that to 12-year-old boys? PYT, pretty young thing. So these were just some notes that we saw that we picked up at your wedding. But I'm definitely, if I ever get married, we're doing a mac and cheese bar and pizza. That's for sure.
Yeah. On the food topic, we just kind of threw out the idea of like catering like Chick-fil-A, and just like
We seriously considered just catering Taco Bell.
oh my gosh.
Oh, that'd be good.
Oh, dude, you get so much
No.
food.
I don't know if I got a chance to say it in the group chat, but like me, Bo, and Tim went to Steak and Shake right before we left.
Uh-huh.
I'm down to replace every single fast food place in my area with Steak and Shake.
Oh,
Which
Do you not have
one did
Steak
you
and
go
Shake?
to?
No, we don't have Steak and Shake. We went to the one that's pretty close to the airport.
Oh, I thought you talked about the one in Kokomo because I was going to say there's a good one and a bad one in
Right next
Kokomo.
to, it was literally next door to a Cracker Barrel. Because was it Cracker Barrel? Is that a restaurant? Am I right?
Yeah.
It was like we were gonna go there, and then the wait was like 40 minutes, and we didn't really feel like waiting around, so we went to the Steak and Shake next door.
So, that was. Other than that, the food was really good. But yeah, we could have. Me and Tim were like, what do we got? What do we got vegetables for? I don't need vegetables. We could have gone for a mac and cheese bar.
Well, we were
So-
thinking something light, for appetizers as we do pictures, because Kimberly and I went to a wedding where the pictures took like 3 hours. In between the service and the pictures, there was like almost a 3-hour wait. I know it wasn't 3 hours. I'm over exaggerating, but they never brought the food out, and the caterer accidentally brought the dessert out too early, and everybody destroyed the desserts because everybody was hungry. And the afterwards, like a day or so later, me and Kimberly found out that the bride was pissed off because we ate the desserts, and we were like, we had no food, we were starving, and it was like I legitimately was so hungry that I was dizzy at that wedding. So we were like, we got to have appetizers, even if it's just a cheese and crackers. We just need
No,
something.
that
for
was
people to snack
definitely a good move. I've done that before too. That's a great idea, actually.
But her mom paid for sodas. The sodas were free. My dad paid for the lemonade and sweet tea from the barbecue place. And then, of course, we had that bar, and it looked like the bar was a really good hit. Everybody was getting drinks.
Yeah, and the selfie thing was good too. The selfie.
Oh yeah, we saved the photos you gave us, Chris. We saved them. So Okay, so Mikey was nice and was a bro and drove us to Indy. I'm sorry my car got a flat on you, Mikey. Chicago, my bad. He drove us to Chicago O'Hare. I'm sorry my car got a flat on you on the way back.
Oh, that sucks.
No, it was just like in Kokomo. Like I got all the way to yeah, it started to get flat like on the way from Buffalo, like when I was leaving Buffalo. Like I noticed it was quit. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it was starting to get flat on the on the way to from Buffalo to my house. Quit. This fucking dog. On the way to my house from Buffalo, and then when I was taking it back the next day, it was pretty bad.
Does it have a nail in it or something? Or
I don't know. My dad couldn't find anything, and he thinks it was in the I can't remember where he's.
The
Anyways,
inner tube or something.
Yeah, the inner tube. Sorry, I couldn't think of that.
Whatever it is.
So he just got me two new tires while I was gone.
Oh my gosh.
But so day one we flew, or day zero, I guess I should say, we flew to Vancouver. Never
from Chicago.
From Chicago. So we could have flown from Indy, but it was more expensive, and it would have been a 6-hour layover in Chicago.
Ew, yeah, that's
so
awful.
we were like, why don't we just drive up to Chicago and fly out of there?
Oh, that makes sense.
O'Hare is not as bad as people say it is. It was really not that bad. Granted, I didn't drive, but honestly, the airport was really good. I didn't mind that airport. One problem was it's old and they don't have a lot of charging outlets, and it's noticeable. The plane flight there was easy. No, barely any turbulence. Longest flight I've been on, it was almost 5 hours. Not that bad though. I just watched 2 movies. I
Did
watched
you have to
Top
get up
Gun.
and walk around?
Yeah,
Wait,
if I ever fly
5 hours
again,
counting the time difference?
say that again, Tim. I'm sorry.
Was it 5 hours counting the time difference?
Not counting the time difference. We actually.
So it was 8 hours on the way back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty much what it was from here when I went to Seattle. It was like 5.5, 6-hour flight there, and then on the way back it was like 8.5, 9.
Mm-hmm. And the flight there was good. Honestly, I wasn't really the jet lag was not that bad on the way there.
You gain 3 hours, so it's really not that bad. You don't feel it going as you do coming.
The weirdest thing though was like at 5 o'clock I got tired, or like 6 o'clock I'm like dead tired.
Right.
But that's the only thing, and I just powered through it because that switched really quick because I just slept and fixed it. But so day zero we got our hotel. If you guys ever go out of country, make sure you let your cell phone company know. I let all my credit card, my debit card, my bank know. I let them know, but I forgot to let my cell phone company know, and they turned off my phone.
Really?
So I had to call and get my phone and her phone turned back on. And it sucks because it was only like we're only in Canada for one day, then we're going back to the U.S.
Right.
So it's like, come on now. But I had to have it for all my information for the cruise.
So you left out of Vancouver, not Seattle.
Yes, we left out. The port was in Vancouver. Beautiful city. If I ever move to a big city, Vancouver is one of the cities I want to live in. Great city. I liked it. I know, and I don't want to be Canadian.
Free healthcare though.
Yeah. So the first day, it's boarding and leaving the port. We did a champagne tasting, and right after the champagne tasting, we had like 6 glasses of champagne. Right after the champagne tasting, we had our safety test training.
The muster drill.
Muster drill. You go here. This is how you put on your life vest, and you get on the ship and whatever.
Uh-huh.
We were having a great time at our muster drill. After some champagne. And then there was a party, and then we kind of just watched the landscape as we left, and then we went to bed. The second day we were at sea going north. basically, there's a lot. It's a Disney cruise. We took a Disney cruise. There's a lot of things to do. There was trivia, game stuff to do. Let's just say I put on a lot of weight because there was unlimited ice cream.
Well,
And they had
there's always unlimited type of food on a cruise.
Yeah, the dinners were. I didn't like the dinners as much because it was like they have 3 restaurants. They have Triton's, which is Little Mermaid themed. They have Animator's Palette, which is like kind of like an animator's office. It's kind of cool theming. Triton's was the worst theming wise, and the big one was Tiana's Place, kind of themed off of Tiana's restaurant in Princess and the Frog.
So did the Little Mermaid restaurant serve seafood?
Yeah, but they weren't really like the only one that served like what it was themed after, like in the 2 of them was Tiana's Place, served like Southern food one day.
Oh, they have frog legs though?
No.
Oh.
But it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant at Disney, the restaurants had like a small menu. If you ever go on a Disney, I don't know if it's like this for any other cruise, but all your food is paid for unless you go to one of the other. There's one
right.
restaurant.
No, you have the main dining room, you get free food. That's the way cruise is. Yes.
At these places, we only ordered 1 appetizer, 1 entree, 1 dessert for the first night, and then we kind of noticed the waiter egging us on to order more. So I ended up ordering an appetizer, a soup, an entree, and 2 desserts.
Yeah, because it's all
paid
free.
for. And
That's
it's
right.
like they gave you such small portions that it's like it's worth it. But the main entree I only liked one night, and that was a Southern food. Other than that, it was either the appetizer and soup or the dessert that was the highlight.
See, when I went on my cruise, they had duck on the menu, so I
tried
knew.
duck.
I ordered the duck because I knew if I didn't like it, I could get something else, and it wasn't going to cost me anything.
Yeah, that's
but
why
I
I
ended
got
up
it.
liking the duck, so it didn't matter.
I liked the taste of the duck. I did not like the texture, if that makes sense.
That was good. That's good eats.
But so the first night we ported was, or the second night they parked us for like an hour, 2 hours right next to a glacier. So we're just sitting there looking at glaciers, watching icebergs, watching seals. I saw two.
Did you sing the Titanic song?
Yes, we made a lot of jokes.
See when I'm on a fucking cruise is goddamn glaciers.
The ship is built to take a glacier, unlike the Titanic.
Sure,
it's got a thicker bow.
That's exactly what they told the people on the Titanic.
That's right.
Well, they lied.
Yeah.
But we sat, that second day we sat next to a glacier. Saw the glacier, saw some seals. We saw whales. Technically, I saw the spouts, like them coming up to breathe, but we didn't see the whales themselves. That was the only sign of whales. Other people saw whales and dolphins, but we were never at the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, at the food court.
Yo, I never really ate crab legs, but they had fresh crab legs.
Oh man, I would have been.
Oh my god, that's for lunch. Me and Kimberly destroyed plates of crab legs.
That's some good eats right there.
And then for dinner when I had lobster, and that was good eats too. Was that lobster?
That is. You ate good.
That's the best thing about cruises, right? It's all the food.
Yeah, it is all the food, Alaska? And then you can get like pizza and hamburgers and hot dogs at 3:00 in the morning. And it's not because you're hungry; it's because you can do it.
And you paid for it, so you might as well.
Yeah, just you're not bored or anything. It's just like because it's just like why not?
It's like, what time is it? It's 2. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get me some pizza.
I'm gonna get an ice cream cone.
Pizza.
So, one thing we found was there's a really nice piano lounge, and we started going there every night. And we would order champagne, and at the end of the cruise, they said that we were known as the champagne couple because we always got champagne at the piano lounge.
Did they have a casino?
No, because it's a Disney cruise.
It's Disney. I didn't know if they had them or not.
So day 3 was our first port. We stopped at Skagway, which is the northernmost spot we stopped at. It's kind of the gateway to the gold mines back in the late 1800s, early 19. So, only like 1,000 people live there during the off season, but during like the tourist season, it's like 30,000 people are there.
Really?
Yeah.
When is the tourist season?
When the ice breaks up.
Okay, so when is that, Chris?
I didn't really ask, so
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna guess like April, late April to like maybe September.
Okay.
Because they said it's basically winter and summer. Or winter and spring. There's really no fall or summer.
I gotcha.
The warmest it got was 72.
Right.
It was really nice while we were there. But that day we did some gold panning. They taught us it was like our excursion was we did gold panning. They taught us how to gold pan. We made $27 on that.
Did somebody try to jump your claim?
No, I almost punched out a little kid.
I was just gonna ask how many kids were on the
You don't
cruise.
The
condone
kids were
violence.
not that bad because Disney cruises are really good about having kid areas. They have little kid areas, tween areas, and teen areas. So they're really good about having activities for kids to do. So they kind of separate them really good. Kids were never an issue except on the one excursion we did. I wanted to punch out this little kid. So after the gold panning, we had a dog sled. They showed us. We had a little dog sled. They talked to us about dog sledding. They showed us some dogs, and then we got to hold puppies.
These are dogs. What did it?
Yeah, but they're like these dogs are like 50 pounds, but could
Unless
like drag me like it's
Balto.
nothing.
Unless they're gonna show me Balto, I don't really care.
Yeah, did you see the Balto statue?
No.
Oh, okay.
So after that, they took us to a train, and we took a train ride up into the mountains. It was like a 2-hour train ride up into the mountains, and it was beautiful and
That's
it was
cool.
relaxing.
Was this all on one day?
Yeah, this was all one day. This was like one excursion.
Yeah, they cram that shit in to one day. It's amazing how they do it.
Jesus Christ. I'm going
Day
Because they start
2
early, right? Did you go
Yeah.
out early?
We ported at 6 and we were off the boat at 9.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
And the boat left at 7, and if you don't get to the boat right at 7, they leave you. They say,
Were
"See
there
ya."
people running on the dock?
No one got left. No one was
Okay.
running.
I've
They
seen
were
people
really
running
good. I
on the
think it's
dock.
because Disney, maybe they're a little better. But it's not like, we're out there getting drunk, but maybe like on a carnival cruise.
Well, like
That's 'cause
on our cruise, we stopped in Key West, so nobody missed the boat, but they were late. They were running towards the boat because they were behind.
No, and they were like, if you leave the boat and go to the saloon and drink, that's on you. But they were like, if say, hey, your tour bus breaks down, we got precautions for that. We got things.
Oh,
we'll do.
okay.
So
Yeah, because that's what we in Key West. We got off the boat and we drank. We went to Margaritaville.
Yeah, they said if you go drink and you forget to get back on the boat, that's your own problem. But then the second day we were in Juneau, which I always, for some reason, I knew Juneau was the capital, but for some reason I always thought it was Anchorage. Don't know why.
No, it's Juneau.
Juneau's as big as Richmond. It's like 30,000 people. I never realized it was so small.
Really?
Yeah, it's like nobody lives there. But
Well, nobody lives in Alaska because it's freaking cold.
You didn't know before, you know now.
Shut up. God, that was a lame joke. I can't stop laughing at it though. But our excursion was we got on a bus when we ported, went to the Mendenhall Glacier Park, walked around the national park. We went and we saw the glacier. We were there for about an hour and a half. Got back on the boat. We went to a salmon hatchery, learned about the salmon. There's like 5 types of salmon. Never knew that.
Tiny salmon. Sorry.
And then we went to a salmon bake. But we were only in Juneau. We were in Juneau from 6. We were only in Juneau from 6 to 4. And we were kind of mad about that because we wanted to explore Juneau because there were some things we wanted to do. And then the last port day we were in Ketchikan, which we just did a hike through a forest was the only thing we did. We saw some eagles then.
It seems like the shortest port wherever you're at is always the best one for some reason.
Yeah, we were mad about that.
Because when I cruised, we did Key West, Cozumel, and Belize, and Key West was our shortest. We were there from like 8 to like 12, or 1 or 2 or something like that. And we would have rather stayed all day in Key West instead of going to Cozumel all day.
Mm-hmm. That's how we were. We would have rather stayed in Juneau for a few more hours than go catch can.
Right.
But then the last day we were, on the ship going back to Vancouver. Then we were in Vancouver. So once we got off the ship, I got extremely sick, and it's actually I had such a high fever that I had to hop in an ice cold bath to break the fever.
Really?
Yeah, and then the 4th we were in Vancouver, then we flew back the 5th because it was cheaper to get a hotel for a couple nights and fly back. But on our flight back, it was the roughest plane ride I've ever been on. So much turbulence. I was actually getting sick. It was so bad. It was the weather was so bad in Chicago they diverted us to Denver, and then they refueled us and sent us back to Chicago
When did you fly back?
on the 6th.
Oh, yeah. How did none of you guys told me there was a fucking tornado the day that we left?
Yeah, we were glad we didn't fly out of Indy because of that tornado. Everything was
That
delayed.
tornado wasn't even in Indy, was it? That was south.
Yeah, but the weather was really bad in
It's
Indy.
apparently the Kroger next to Tim's house is not there anymore.
Oh my gosh. That
In
sucks.
Greenwoodville?
Greenwood.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the one?
Yeah, but
south
that's
of
clear on
Indy?
the other side of
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, but the plane still flies that way, and they gotta delay it. But no, I would highly suggest. I know that's a really quick synopsis, but we're already 40 minutes into the podcast. Oh, so this is going to be our diverge or our
Segway.
segue into movie talk. So the day before the release of the Indiana Jones movie, they showed it to us a day before on the ship. The perks of going on a Disney cruise when a movie's coming out that Disney made. It was a fun experience to see it on the ship.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think that movie needed to be made. Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong. It was definitely better than Crystal Skull. I'd rather watch that over Crystal Skull.
Yes.
But I probably will not watch it again, just like Crystal Skull.
I only watched Crystal Skull because I watched all of the movies prior to going to see Dial of Destiny. If they'd have done Dial of Destiny like Crystal Skull, I probably would have been okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just it's the same old. Oh no, we're in a cave. Oh no, there's big bugs crawling around. It's just,
Yeah, it was a cookie cutter from the other movies.
Yeah, it just seems like they stole stuff from the other movies to put into this. And I didn't like I went July 4th. So I paid for that movie. And then I stuck into another movie afterwards. So I wasn't impressed. I think it's just a little better than Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
But I should have paid for the Jennifer Lawrence movie and snuck into Indiana Jones.
I would agree. If I was to rank those Indiana Jones movies, it'd be 3, 1, 2, 4, 5.
Oh, see, I would go 1, 3, 2, 5, 4.
And I accept that. I like both of them, but I think Sean Connery is the GOAT. So
I can't go against the original. So, but yeah, I went 4th of July and went to the 11:45 movie, and there were people there. Like, I was surprised.
well, it's one of the classics.
It is, and but I went July 4th, so I was surprised that there were people on July 4th there.
Oh,
like, are you guys supposed to be out like at a picnic or barbecue or something?
Speaking of, just one more thing about the cruise. You'd think like Disney in a cruise, they're going to have a lot of fireworks on the boat. No, they're not allowed to do fireworks because of like conservation laws in Vancouver, or in Canada and Alaska. You can't shoot off fireworks.
So you didn't do nothing on the 4th of July?
No, they had a really nice they had like 3 Broadway style shows, and they're really good. But it's
what the hell is shooting fireworks over the ocean gonna do?
Right?
You might upset a bear.
Whatever.
You're in the middle of the fucking ocean.
You might upset an orca. They're already sinking ships. They don't need us to sink the cruise ship.
Don't want any more fires.
So are
Megalodon.
are me and Chris the only ones that seen the new Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah.
Mikey was doing other things also.
It's not horrible. It's a watchable movie.
No, I would definitely say go. It's definitely you gotta
Go
watch
see
it.
it's got its fun elements, but I went, like I said, I snuck into the Jennifer Lawrence movie No Hard Feelings, which that takes me back to like good funny movies. It's just a basic movie. She plays this girl she's behind on her taxes on her for her house, so they're going to take her house away. So she's got to get extra money. So um, the bank takes her car. Well, she's an Uber driver. She's a bartender and an Uber driver, and she can't Uber if she doesn't have a car. So the deal is this couple has this teenage kid going to college, and he's like extremely sheltered. All he does is sit in his room, play video games and stuff. So they kind of want to get him experience before he goes to college. So they hire this girl with the stipulation that she goes on a date with him, or she dates him. Like she's got to date him, and then she gets a free car. So that's why she was doing it, was to get the free car. And that movie's hysterical. I mean, the jokes are great. They're fresh. It's not an old movie. I mean, there were no woke moments in it. You know, there was no this type of character had to be there. This type of character. It was this could have been made in the early 2000s, late 90s, as far as comedies are concerned. And she beats the ass out of these two guys while she's completely naked coming out of the ocean. So that was kind of hot too. So. But of the two movies I saw on 4th of July, No Hard Feelings is probably the best one.
You did a double movie, like on 4th of July?
Yeah, because as soon as that movie got over, the Jennifer Lawrence movie started.
Ah.
So I figured out, what I did was the night before, I bought a ticket to both movies because it tells you what screen it's playing on after you buy your ticket.
Uh-huh.
Then I refunded the Jennifer Lawrence movie ticket because it told me what theater it was in, and then
oh my gosh,
I went, I filled my cup up full of Coke, and it was on the same side, as Indiana Jones. So once the movie started, I walked in there and just sat down.
Yeah. What happened to supporting movie theaters? What the heck?
I know, right?
I bought a Coke.
That's not supporting movie theaters.
It actually is.
Oh, you're right. Well, you should have bought another Coke because.
Yeah, you should have bought another Coke or some popcorn or something.
I was concerned about the bottom falling out of that Coke cup. I'm not gonna lie. After the second time around.
Oh,
but
speaking of the bottom falling out, fuck Canada, fuck Alaska, because fuck paper straws. That's all they had, and I hate paper straws.
Remember when the movie theater tried paper straws, Chris?
Yeah, we would just sneak them in for Five Guys.
We would literally go to Five Guys to eat first and get real straws from Five Guys and take them to the movie theater with us.
Screw that seal.
That's too funny. Oh, paper straws are the worst.
Anyway, sorry for the tangent.
So no, that's fine. So then after that, then the next day, because they were giving out free tickets to Sound of Freedom. So I took a free ticket because I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not. Because I didn't know if it was going to be like one of these preachy movies, right? So I went to see Sound of Freedom with Jim Caviezel. And his wife is played by Mira Sorvino, who's been blackballed in Hollywood too because she wouldn't sleep with Harvey Weinstein. That's a true story. She can't get work anymore. She was a very hot actress. I think she won an Oscar, actually.
Yeah.
And
he's
late
been
90s.
Blackballed because he won't strip, and he's a very outspoken Christian.
So Mira Sorvino played his wife. So it was good to see her working again. She played Jim Caviezel's wife, but that movie's based on a true story. Now there are pluses and minuses to this movie. I don't know how true to the letter it was. I know the basic storyline was true. The person is true. But you know, everybody's excited to see it, and I see churchy people going, we're winning. No, you bought a freaking movie ticket and you went to the movie. What are you doing to fight? Going to a movie is not fighting sex trafficking with kids. It has nothing to do with it. All it does is bring awareness, which we've all known about it for years anyway. Corey Feldman's been talking about this for years, right?
I mean, that's why they killed Paul Walker.
That's what they say. Paul Walker, Chris Cornell, Chester Bennington, Anne Hesh made a movie about it. I guess it was on like Lifetime or whatever. She made a movie about child trafficking. But the more I'm seeing this, and then all of these outlets, like Rolling Stone trashed it. Where's it at? What'd they call it?
QAnon.
Sound of Freedom. Yeah, the QAnon tinged thriller about child trafficking is designed to appeal to the conscience of a conspiracy-addled boomer. But what they're doing is too. There's got to be legitimate things to this because it's happening in a lot of AMC theaters, which we have an AMC theater, right? And theaters are making the viewing experience uncomfortable. They're turning the air off. You can't hear the movie. They turn the sound down. The fire alarms go off mid-movie, so you can't see the end of it. So they're just giving people refunds. Like that'll be it'll be a 12-screen movie theater complex, and for some reason the air won't work in that theater where that movie's playing. So they just refunding people their ticket money. So this guy said the volume was turned way down. He had to contact the theater manager to adjust the film twice. But all of these media outlets are against this movie. What are we against? I mean, they're against it because they're part of it. I'm convinced.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, did you ever hear that movie Cuties?
Yeah, they called it a masterpiece or something.
Yes. It's actually a sensitive portrait of growing pains that deserves to be seen. That's what Rolling Stone said.
But all it did was sexualize little girls.
Yeah. So I'm convinced that almost anybody that lives in Hollywood knows what's going on with sex trafficking. And now this movie has been sitting on the shelf for, I've heard 3 years and I've heard 5 years. Disney had the rights to it and they would not release it. They would not release the movie. They had to wait for it to come up again. And then this other angel bought the rights to the movie. So that says a lot right there. I've lost a lot of respect for Disney, honestly.
I already had no respect for Disney.
It's awful.
The only reason I pay for Disney is because Star Wars.
My subscription runs up November 28th, and I turned off. I'm not renewing it. So as of November 28th, I'm not doing Disney.
You can have access to mine. I don't care.
Okay, but I'm convinced that everybody in Hollywood is behind the sex ring. There are more slaves now than there was when slavery was legal. That's a scary thought. That's a lot of people. Most of them are kids, 18 and under. Mm-hmm. There's more money in the sex slave market than there is in drugs, than there is in arms, illegal arms dealing in guns and weapons. More money is made in sex trafficking than there are those. Those were 1 and 2. Drugs were 1, and drugs were 1, and arms deals were 2. That they're now 2 and 3. Sex trafficking makes that much money. The most where it's most profitable is here in America. That's scary. So it's not a Christian movie. It's not. It really isn't. It's PG-13. It's hard to watch. It's intense. It's disturbing. But nobody's won anything. All this movie does is expose what's out there. But what are you going to do? The movie will be out of theater in 2 weeks, right? And then we'll move on to, Mission Impossible or Oppenheimer. You know what I mean? What are you going to do?
Barbie.
I heard Barbie's got some woke stuff in it too now too. But they're all together. Everything in the Hollywood media, the politicians, they're all in this together because they're all trashing this movie. Mm-hmm. Why would you trash a movie about exposing sex trafficking?
Because in some way it supports something Trump said at one point.
Yes, he does, and he's doing his best to fight it. He's introduced legislation to fight it. That was one of the first things he did.
Didn't Biden shut that down, that legislation?
Probably because he's probably in on it. His creepy son.
Well, he probably can't remember anyways. Well, wasn't he just on
Cocaine in the
camera
White House.
telling some little girl, "Don't tell your mom what I told you"?
Yes, he's creepy as hell. And they showed a video of what's his name, the Russian guy. Who's the Russian guy?
Putin.
Putin, meeting a little girl, right? And she's very kind. And what does he do? He gets down on one knee and shakes her hand. He doesn't sniff her or kiss her. Or, those people are. I'm telling you, those people are all in it together.
I go into the bathroom and I come back and that's the first thing.
But I think Epstein Island is real because as part of the movie, they went to an island and they busted a bunch of people. They liberated 54 sex slaves. That's a true story. That part of the movie is actually true. They've got actual video from the Sting, where they liberated 54 sex trafficking kids in sex trafficking and busted a bunch of people in Colombia, I think. But our government's in on it. Hollywood's in on it. Who knows? I mean, we've heard the names that are supposedly on that flight list to Epstein Island, right?
Yeah, it's like Prince Harry, Clinton's, Bill
Tom
Gates.
I heard Tom
Oprah.
Hanks was on there.
Tom Hanks.
So, and I told you about the whole the subway guy.
What? And I don't remember. What'd you say?
He was into little kids.
Yeah.
He went to prison. There's a documentary. I think it's on HBO.
Speaking of, being into little kids and going to prison, did you hear the guy that molested the doctor that molested the U.S. women's gymnastics?
Yeah, he got stabbed.
Yeah, he got stabbed like 10 times in prison.
Yeah, they didn't finish him off though.
I know. Well, that's okay. He can get stabbed some more in the future.
Yeah, he won't. He won't make it out of there alive.
No, and he probably knew that going in. So.
But there's so much creepiness. There's so much fishiness going on. I mean, that Dan Schneider guy, right, from the Nickelodeon shows. There's been stories about him doing creepy stuff. So it's been going on.
Look at the guy that played Flash. He's accused of grooming. I can't think of his name. The guy that played Flash.
Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's accused of grooming, and it's being investigated.
He might have. I mean, we don't know. Right now, I can say nobody's off the board as far as I'm concerned. If they're living in Hollywood, they're part of this whole deal. It's the ones that are getting out of there.
I agree. The ones that are blacklisted for trying to call it out are the ones that I believe, unfortunately. And it's sad because these people tout themselves as like the best things in America, the people everyone should look up to, but yet it's do as I say, not as I do.
Have you seen the videos to the Sam Smith concerts?
I would
really
never
disturbing.
let my kid go to his concert. I loved Sam Smith, and I want the old Sam Smith back.
I'm gonna throw Taylor Swift into that. I think I am not jealous of Taylor Swift. Great. She has a career. She writes all this stuff. She's got a cult following, and it's disturbing. I think and this is my opinion only. I can't prove anything, but part of her show has to do with like witchcraft and covens. And there's something. I have never seen a concert where people stand in line 3 days before the concert to get merchandise for a person.
I don't understand the hype around Taylor right now. Her new album's not even that good.
Much less stand outside of a football stadium because you can't afford the tickets to get in.
Yeah.
Now, was she mad? She wasn't mad about ticket prices and people jacking up prices on people. Well, she was mad at Ticketmaster for the way it was handled.
Yeah.
But she never came out once and said, "Don't spend $2,000 for a seat in the back of the football stadium." She never once came out and said that. Matt Rife did, because Matt Rife had the same issue. His tickets went crazy. He came out on TikTok and he says, if you see a ticket he's like, none of my tickets for my shows are $100 unless you get some kind of VIP experience. He's like, don't spend $150 for a seat in the back of the theater to come and see me. He says, I would rather see those seats empty than see somebody overpay for my show. I'm not worth that. That's what an entertainer does. I know y'all may be Swifties, but I think that there's something there. There's something there about her that ain't right. and to have all this worship going on about her is just it's just not sitting right in my head. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. I mean, you can listen to it, you can enjoy it. You know,
Oh,
I love
know
going
what
to
you
the
mean.
rant.
Yeah.
You
I
just
mean,
want more reason. You just fucking with T Swizzle now, huh? Now you just fucking
yep,
with
sure.
T Swizzle.
I mean, you see my apartment, right? But you know, I love racing, but if I have a relationship with something, this stuff gets toned down. I don't have to be home to watch it every hour of the day. You know what I mean? I can display all my shit out because I live by myself. I can do what I want. I don't have anybody to compromise with. So, but you got to do that. But yeah, I am going after T Swivel. I think she's some kind of witch, honestly. Call me crazy. There's people out there on TikTok. I've seen the videos. There are people out there that are saying the same thing I am. So I know that I'm not alone in this.
The Swiftie's gonna come after you.
I know he's dead,
Better.
guys. It's been
It's-
nice knowing Chris. with
You
the
have
day.
been
I'm
marked.
already sharpening my knife.
That's gonna be my demise. Is gonna be the Swifties, right?
What's the guy say in Knight's Tale? Like, you have been weighed, you have been measured. Said
You've
something.
been found wanting.
Yes.
I'm
it.
Taylor Swift weighs the same as a duck. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, it's not you got to worry about. You got to worry about the 30,000 little girls that are going to come at you with knives.
I posted a video on Facebook about this girl that burned all of her Taylor Swift stuff because she had it was the same stuff that it's I think there's some legitimacy to it to a point. I do think there's some kind of worship going on there, and I don't know if she's doing. I mean, they can do anything in music. Well, that's been proven in the past. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I don't care. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. I'm not trying to ruin her career. But there's something there that ain't right.
You heard it here first. Everybody, Chris hates Taylor, and he wants to hurt her.
And like Epstein, I didn't kill myself, guys. So just
Don't worry, fellow Swifties.
those Swifties will give it away. You know they're gonna leave glitter everywhere if they did.
Ain't
Just
no
be like-
glitter when I'll murder you.
I mean, in a way, you're like Nixon. You're just gonna be like, I'm not a crook.
If there's glitter in
Listen.
my apartment and I'm dead, you know I was killed by a Swiftie. Not a stripper, a Swiftie. So
I think he got killed by a stripper.
cinnamon. But I don't know. It's just weird. I can't imagine. Oh, I can't afford to go to the concert. Let me go. Like I've seen the Rolling Stones in concert a couple times. You know, like at a football stadium. But I'm not going to go stand outside, freaking anywhere where there's an outdoor concert to listen to the music of a concert. It's just mind blowing. Now they're telling people not to do it. I think it's getting out of hand.
So there was one weekend Kimberly and I decided to do a weekend trip to Cincinnati, and we didn't know it, but there was a T Swift concert, and just driving through downtown Cincinnati as people were walking to the concert was like nuts.
Dude,
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a Swift concert. I remember that. I know it wasn't a Swift concert.
Who was in concert?
It was. I forget what it was, but I know it was a concert. But I think it did have to do something with. Maybe it was like an album listening thing or something.
Like the Taylor Swift concert was going on the same time the Reds were playing. And the freaking Reds are red hot right now. And they won like at the end of the game and fireworks were going off and people were like the Taylor Swift concert. So, yeah.
It sucks.
Whoever scheduled that to have, can you imagine having freaking all those screaming 70,000 girls and then a baseball game going on right next to it? I mean, remember how bad the traffic was when we went to the Cubs game?
You might
multiply
as well
that
take
by like a million.
Blanket and pillow and sleep in your car if you're trying to leave a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh, geez.
There's no way. Or you'd have to leave early. But a lot of people
I
don't.
just won't leave. I'll just
set
live
up
there.
camp. Yeah.
I live here now.
I almost wanted to do that when we were leaving like fireworks. Yeah, you went to fireworks.
I didn't see
I have
fireworks
to
this
put
year.
my headphones on.
Yeah,
did
you
the
put your
house.
headphones on.
I didn't go nowhere. I didn't want to spend money. I knew I was going to spend money. I went to the Indianapolis Indians game on Saturday. That's a nice stadium. Mike, you ever been there?
Yeah,
To Victory Field? That's a nice stadium.
it's been a few years, I would say. So I don't
I
know.
had to pay $20 for parking though because it was a Youngblood concert at White River Park. A little cheesed about that.
Youngblood.
I
Don't
don't
know
even
who they are.
I don't know who it is either. I just wanted to get out of there before that concert got over because that would have been a mess.
Well,
But they
I
had-
tried. I said I tried the best food. It was I don't want to say best, but it was like the cheapest. Like so near, like it was a little walk away from the where we were watching fireworks. It was, yeah, it was maybe a few blocks, but um, we there's a little stand and they sold pronto dogs,
Pronto.
pronto pronto pups. So all it was a hot dog on a stick and then dip it in batter and deep fry it. So it was like a corn dog, but it did. It's it's a thinner batter. It wasn't as
Tell
heavy.
Sierra to hop on the mic so she can
Yeah.
explain it.
No, it wasn't as heavy. I know what I'm talking about.
were they like little hot dogs like Skyline?
No,
Chili
it was full size hot dogs.
Skyline's overrated.
dogs? Shut up,
Chris's hot
So-
bastard!
dog.
You better shut your mouth.
But they were $1.75 a piece.
Really? That's cheap for a
That
Yeah.
ain't bad.
So like my first time being there, we were waiting in line, and there's always a line there, especially like during this time. But
Is it like cornbread? Like
no, it was like corn dog batter, but it was just thinner.
oh, okay,
It wasn't as heavy.
I got you.
But yeah, so $1.75, and people. I was like, first time there, I'm like, okay, I don't know what that looks like, don't know what to expect, and I see people walking past with like 6 in their hand, like a bouquet of like pronto pups. I'm like, holy cow! And then you get ketchup and mustard on them, and their drinks were like $1. Like it was like the most reasonable, like the reasonable place like to
Was it
go
a food
nowadays.
truck?
No, it was just like a little shack.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a permanent place there. Like they don't. It's not mobile or anything,
Oh,
but
okay, okay.
like only 2 people were working there, and it was just a little shack. It was awesome. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. I paid $20 for 2 hot dogs, pretzel bites, and a drink at Double H.
Did you pay $50 for a Wagyu burger?
No, there ain't no Wagyu burgers there. I was a little disappointed. No Wagyu burgers. They did have his hot dog. It looked good, but it looked expensive, so I didn't buy it. Maybe next time. They do like
Oh.
a special hot dog or special food at games, every game. I just meant because Meredith from The Office was there.
Yeah.
So
I saw that picture.
I met Meredith from The Office. She's really funny.
Did she like your shirt?
I don't think she paid attention. It was like a long line, and they were rushing
Yeah.
people in and out. So I did get a response on my shirt. Someone said, "There's a lot of hate going on with that shirt. Why did you wear that stupid shirt in public?" That was a family member, by the way.
Was that your mom?
No, my mom. You know what my mom said? So she asked me why I was all dressed up, right, when I went to your wedding. So I told her, and she said, "Did you meet any nice ladies at the reception?" I'm like, "No, Mom, I did not. I'm sorry. I didn't
My
meet
single aunt was there. You could have hit her up.
I didn't meet any. Let's see here. Oh, then she goes, "Oh, that she no. This is what she said. She's like, why did you get all dressed up?" So I told her that you got married, and she says, maybe all your friends will get to go to your wedding sometime. Did you meet any nice
Aw.
ladies at the reception? She's so optimistic for me,
Aw.
right?
Mom
So
with
sweet.
What a mom.
Yeah.
Right?
burn over here.
Hey, Chris, have you ever been to the Indiana State Sanatorium?
No.
Not you. No.
No.
Sorry.
Which? Oh, the haunted one?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I've been wanting to go, but I have seen it. It's on my radar, but I've never been.
Because I was just there Sunday.
Shut the front door.
Yeah. Her most of her family races ATVs.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, she's already calling him daddy. How cute.
And he was never heard from again.
I know.
So you thought it was me?
It's
The
tea bar.
Swifties.
It's tea party time.
He just got sucked into a void. I'm pretty sure right after he was just talking about
She's-
going to a haunted fucking
Yeah.
place.
They came and got him.
Yeah. You can't talk about that. No.
Dragged that out immediately.
Yeah, she's going to bed. So, anyway. So yeah, I was there. Her family races like 4-wheelers,
Uh-huh.
and they're hosting a race Sunday. It was originally Saturday or something, and they rescheduled it. So it was the Sunday. So I was there. I walked around the property a little bit, but and I saw it.
creepy?
But I guess I can be like, because everything's abandoned and all the windows and doors are open and windows were out and stuff. So
Yeah, I'll throw rocks and shit at you in them buildings. You'll be
I
careful.
and I think eventually they'll host like they're able to host like weddings and other events. I'm like, how cool would it be to kind of get married on like the sanatorium like
Right.
property?
I've been wanting to. They do investigations there. They can get.
Yeah,
pricey.
yeah. I saw they have a Facebook thing. I looked into it.
Be haunted.
I'm gonna do it. I like to go into those because I did that one investigation up at Fort Wayne, and I found out the people that host it, like whoever's doing the ghost hunt, they like you more if you're skeptic, if you
Yeah.
believe, but you have to be convinced.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them that go to those things and they're like, I heard something. I picked up something on my recorder.
It's
You
something
know, you
warm
did
running
not.
down my leg.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. I'm like, you
Yeah.
didn't hear nothing.
There's this warm, moist feeling coming
I
out.
got more. I got more feedback because I was skeptical about. I didn't hear anything from the guys. Like they did the people that I went to. One was actually they were all been on Ghost Hunters, the TV show Ghost Hunters. All three of them. And then two of them they stayed at the Conjuring house for 2 weeks, and they did a documentary. It's called Sleepless Unrest. But yeah, that shit's legit. And I do want to go to
Sounds
that
so metal.
sanatorium. So where's it at?
Sleepless Unrest.
Is it in Indianapolis?
It's hold on, I can look it up. But yeah, like I don't know if I'd do a full on investigation. I'd like to do like at least like a flashlight tour. They do those or something.
Yeah, you can pick and choose because some of them are all night long.
Yeah. All night long.
Because the one I did was a 3 hour. I think we did it. Well, no, it was like 4 hours. It was like 10 to 1, I think, was ours at the Bell Mansion.
It is.
And you got to investigate with everybody. So.
Oh my gosh, I can't find it.
Tour. I'm going to try and Google it.
It's just a little town west of Danville.
Oh, it's out on Rockville Road.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I forget it was.
Dude, I want to go. I want to go. We should go. You and me and
All right.
Chris. I'll take y'all out.
Tim can come.
Yeah, Tim can come too.
On my own.
To this haunted closed for day roaming. You can day roam. That's when Mikey was there, July 7th to 9th. Self-guided day tours, $25. Tuesday, not exclusive overnight, is $100. Day roaming's 10 to 5. But you can't roam on Christmas Day. Well, that's not fun. Our standard private overnight rates are $700 for weekdays, $1,000 for weekends, up to 10 people. So if you have 10 people, you could do $70 if you went Sunday to Thursday, or $100 if you got 10 people. That's not bad. From 5 p.m. to 10 a.m. Oh man, that's a long time. That would be fun. I might do this because I'm stupid and lonely, and maybe I'll meet them. Those you don't want to date a ghost chick. Those girls are weird, man. I'm telling you.
You're
Maybe
gonna
you,
date a dead girl? That's
maybe you
weird.
could date a ghost.
No, those people, those women that the women that they
She's
go to
got to
these
charge
ghost-
her crystals before she goes out on a
Yeah,
date with
they're
you.
like they don't shave their pits and
What do you
they're
got?
goofy ass women.
She's got to check the horoscope first
Yes,
before dinner.
No,
I saw two of them. They were like we were in because the Bell
just
Mansion
like
it was a house,
some
but it
carpet
used to be
wadded up or something.
it used to be a funeral home, right? And this one dumbass bitch is laying on this gurney in the embalming room, and she goes, "Did you just whisper in my ear?" I'm like, "Oh, shut up! Nobody whispered in your ear. You're being stupid." That's how. Yeah, you gotta be careful with these ghost hunts and the people that go to them. So,
Or you'll find your next wife.
and also me and Chris, we talked about this briefly today while we were working. We are looking for financial backers for our gaming bar.
It's going to be an indie.
It's a bar dedicated to gaming. And then whatever kind of playoffs are going on, we have a tournament. So like during the NFL playoffs, you can watch the playoffs there, but we'll have a Madden tournament. We'll have an NBA tournament.
I
So
don't really know, but those already exist.
I know, but I'm going to start one in Indy.
we'll start one in Indianapolis, you dork.
I have one like down the street.
Well, good for you. That doesn't help us at all, actually.
I know we're trying to start one in Indianapolis, not in Boston or New Bedford.
Yeah, nobody wants to start anything in Boston except fights. So
Gotta go to the Packy first.
that's right. You got to get the Packy first. I was telling both you, if you guys ever come over here for one of our weddings, you are gonna hate this airport compared to
But
the
Logan,
it's not good.
Indianapolis has won best airport in the nation like a few years in a row now.
I don't even mean just like the actual like airport itself. I just mean like to like on the way home. It was like, all right, you gotta like, you split off left to get out of the airport. And then it's like my GPS is like, take the next right, but it said take the right before I took the left. So then I'm like, wait, right or left? And then I ended up taking and then it brought me back to the front of the airport. So then I was like, okay, let's try this again. We're gonna go left, 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 brought me back around the airport the same fucking way somehow. So I was like, wait a minute. How am I? It took me probably like an extra like 15, 20 minutes to get out of the airport area.
airport exit.
But
There's no sign that says airport exit.
there's plenty of signs, but they happen so fast that it's like crisscross.
Oh, you can't get over.
It's like there's so many cars coming. It's like two lanes coming from two on ramps meet together, and then you have to cut across each other's lanes within like maybe 300 feet.
God, that would drive me nuts.
It's like Big Ben Parliament, right? Like European vacation. Just keep on going around about. Big Ben Parliament. Big Ben Parliament. We did that in Washington, D.C. And because we did that in Washington, D.C., we didn't get to go to the Lincoln Memorial or the Jefferson Memorial because Dad kept on getting stuck in that middle lane or the inside lane of the roundabout. So we just kept crossing the Potomac over and over and over again until he got tired of it. And then he's like, you don't need to see that. That's a typical 80s dad vacation maneuver right there. That is no lie.
I'll show you a picture.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He's like, you've seen the pictures of it. And he just, like, we're not going to that.
It's a big point thing, okay? That's it.
Dad was the typical. He was the
I'll
typical.
get you a postcard.
He was the typical 80s vacation dad. He really was. In a good way. I'm not complaining. We had a lot of fun, but I still think that's funny that we still talk about me and my brother do, especially getting caught on the roundabout and just going over the Potomac 2 or 3 times. I think maybe we might have been going to Arlington too. We didn't go to Arlington either, so. Dad's not much for patience in traffic. He's that guy, you know.
I don't think any dad is.
No, especially when there's kids
I
in the
think that
car.
just comes with the dad title.
No,
Like,
we were good back. By then, we had Walkmans, so we really weren't. We didn't fight. Me and my brother didn't fight. We kind of kept to ourselves. So we were good traveling kids, which turns me into the traveling Nazi I am now, where I don't stop unless I
for those
have to.
out there, a Walkman is kind of like an MP. Well, you can't even say MP3. It's like an iPod.
It's like an
You know
iPhone.
what
It's like you
iPod
listening to
was?
Spotify, and like it wasn't even like a tape player. Like ours were radios, so we had to tune in local radio stations.
Half of the time, it was just like.
Yeah, I hear part of this song. That's exactly right.
That's not a song. That's the Boston Celtics game. No way. That's
Well, that
a
was
show.
the cool part, though, was because if you were close to a bigger city, in the evening, the AMs in the bigger cities, the AMs would up their voltage, right? So you could get a better signal. So you could listen to like baseball games in the summertime from other cities because you could pick up the reception on AM radio. So we had that going for us if we were traveling at night. But yeah, that's just typical. Yeah, we were good. We were good traveling, but I will not stop if it's lunchtime. We're not going in, order something, go to the bathroom, and we're back on the road. I'm not sitting here. I'm not going to Cracker Barrel. I ain't going to the Village Inn. We're not going to.
But I gotta pee.
Oh, you can pee. I'm just saying, get your food to go so we can be on the road. Because if you go in a restaurant, you lose 45 minutes on the road.
What's the point of driving somewhere if you're not going to enjoy the drive and stop places?
I got shit to do.
But when you're trying to get to where you're going to start your vacation, like you're not making a stop. It would be one thing if you're stopping like in that location. Like, okay, I'm gonna stop for the night, so we'll go out and eat dinner. But if I'm traveling and I'm trying to get 14 hours down the road so I can get to my first stop of the night, and there's nothing between me and that stop, I am not stopping and going in and eating food. I will get it to go on the road.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We break for nobody. That's exactly what it is. So that's how you travel from Indiana to the Montana, down through the Rockies, into the Grand Canyon, and back in 10 days.
Kind of like when me and Kimberly drove to Colorado. It was I drove 14 hours in one day.
Yeah, that's what you got to do to get out there. Once you get out there, you can stop on the way. You know what I mean? It's just getting out there that is the bitch. So, I mean, that's what we did. We stopped in South Dakota, at Rapid City. I think we stopped in Rapid City the first day. That's like a 12-hour drive. But then everything after that was 2 or 3 hours. We just made a big circle. But so I don't know.
Anyways, I think
We can wrap up.
I think we can wrap up. We're at about an hour and 20 minutes, so let's go ahead and wrap up. Thank you
got
for
married. Mikey got engaged. Chris is gonna die by Taylor Swiftie's hands, and
Tim's going to be one of them.
Tim will be one of them because he's a secret Swiftie.
Ain't nothing secret about it, baby.
Anyways, thank you for listening. You can catch us at Pod Nerds on Twitter, Hoosier Nerds on Facebook. You can watch and listen to us on YouTube or at your favorite podcasting sites, Spotify, iTunes, TuneIn, and Amazon. Fuck you.
And you'll never wonder who's your nerds. Get them, Swifties.